All right, guys. My name's Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. Today I'm gonna go over the movie Spaceballs. Um, right here it says it's directed by Mel Brooks. It's starring Mel Brooks comes out as Dark Helmet, and y'all. I'm sorry, Mel Brooks comes out as President Scrooge. He also comes out as Yogurt. John Candy comes out as Barf, half man, half dog. And Rick Moranis comes out as Dark Helmet. And he's not right here, but Bill Pullman comes out as Lone Star, the main character. Um, all right, let's jump into this. Let's get crazy. So we're gonna start off. Spaceballs is gonna show a big starship. It's very long. It's gonna take forever once you see it for the camera to pass by the whole ship. It's called Spaceball 1. In it, we're gonna have Dark Helmet, like I mentioned, played by Rick Moranis, and we're gonna have Colonel Sanders. And they're gonna be talking about they want to take over a planet called Planet Duridia. Planet Duridia is it is ruled by King Roland. Um, and Dark Helmet is like we need I need to go ahead and call President Scrooge his only higher up. And Dark Helmet is like second in command. And then one of the space balls are like they're like kind of like stormtroopers, but you can see their face, but they're the henchmen. They have a big space ball like this helmet, and he goes, I already called the President Scrooge. He's he knows already. And then Dark Helmet goes, what? You talked over my helmet? And he's all scared. The space ball. No, henchman. No, it was like a little bit to the side. It'll never happen again. And then pretend this is a ring. Dark Helmet goes like this. He puts his ring on. And then the spaceman's like, no, it'll never happen again. And he's like, oh, crap. And he goes, anything but that. He starts looking at his private. And then Dark Helmet goes, yeah, that. And a laser comes out of Dark Helmet's ring and starts shooting the guy. The Spaceball's private. The Spaceball's like, whoa. Whoa. Dark Helmet's still like this. Shooting the beam at the guy's private, or that's whatever you want to call it. He's like, whoa. Whoa. Goes to his knees. Two Spaceballs are in uniform black because they're the guards. This Spaceballs is like another control panel, whatever. They pick him up in their arms and they take him out. And he's walking like this. And then Dark Helmet tells Colonel Sanders, I wanna see where's Planet Ricky. I wanna see it on the radar. Colonel Sanders, I'll go to the radar. He goes, no, I'll do it myself. And then Dark Helmet goes to this thing on the screen. He goes, okay, I'm ready to watch radar. And then Dr. Sanders goes, no, this is Mr. Coffee. And he goes, and then the Colonel Sanders, care for some, sir? And then Dark Helmet goes, of course I want coffee. You know I always drink coffee when I watch radar. Everybody got that? And then all the space balls, they're all like in line. They're like, of course we do, sir. They're covering their private because they're afraid of Dark Helmet. And he goes, now that I got my coffee, I'm ready to watch radar. And then the next screen is the radar. And then they say they need a like an air defense. What their plan is to get an air defense code that they need to break to get through the shield so they can get to Planet Duridia. By the way, they're trying to steal the air and the atmosphere from all that breathable stuff from Planet Duridia. Once again, run by King Roland. And it has said in the credits or before, that that the Spaceballs have stupidly wasted their own air. So now from there we're gonna get to King Roland and Princess Vespa Princess Vespa's King Roland's daughter. She's ready to get married, and they're gonna do an arranged marriage with a prince. She can only be married to a prince. She can't be married to a common or anything like that. And then she's like, I don't want to marry Prince Valium. And then King Roland's like, you have to. He's the only prince left in the galaxy. And then she's like, I can't get married. My droid of honor is not here, a robot. Dot comes in. She looks like a version of C-3PO. Just like Dark Helmet looks like Darth Vader. But she's a girl, she has a skirt, whatever. She's a robot. Played by Joan Rivers, by the way, the voice. So the droid comes in and she's like, I'm so happy I could barely hold my oil. So she's already about to walk down the aisle to go marry Prince Valium. Prince Valium's like a prince. He's all blonde hair. He's a boar. He's yawning. And then they're walking down the aisle, and then Princess Vespa decides to play the runaway bride, and run away from her marriage because she don't want to marry Prince Valium. Roland's like come back, and then she heads up to what they call it a Mercedes, but it's a little spaceship, and she flies off, and when she's running away, her gown in the back, Dot is still holding it, so Dot's going along for the ride, and Dot is like on roller skates, kind of droid, and they get into the Mercedes spaceship. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. It gets up, and then they take off. You see King Roland and everybody outside. They're like looking up, like, and then Prince Valium's like, come, back. He's always like yawning and sleeping and boring and stuff. Next, we're gonna get to Lone Star. They're flying in a Winnebago with wings. It's kind of like a trailer, whatever you want to call it. Not a trailer, but those are like an RV. They call it a Winnebago though. It's on wings, or an RV with wings, whatever you call it. Barf is in the back of the Winnebago. Lone Star's driving an autopilot. Barf is eating some snacks. He's partying to some music back there. And Lone Star's asleep. He has his legs kicked up, whatever. There's something signaling like it's a telephone, whatever. And he's like, Barf. He's waking up Barf. Barf goes, always when I'm meeting, he goes to the front of the Winnebago. Barf says, I'm going to put it on audio so they can't see us. He switches the wrong switches video. And then it's some guy named Vinny. Looks like a robot gangster guy. Vinny says, you better pay Pizza the Hut. He's kind of like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, but he's made of pizza. He says, you better do what he says. And then Pizza Hut says, you owe me like 475,000 or whatever. I don't know, something like that. One number like that. And he goes, that much money? That's unfair. It's like, no, you forgot interest fees. That comes out to 1 million space bucks. 1 million space bucks? And he goes, you better get the money, or tell him. And Pizza Hut like, you better get my money, or else tell him, Vinny. And then Vinny goes, oh, if you don't come up with 1 million space bucks, Pizza is gonna send up for you. And then they start laughing, him, Vinny, and Pizza Hut. And then Vinny actually takes a piece of pizza from Pizza Hut. He starts eating it. And he's like, oh, you're delicious, or whatever. And Lone Star's like, where are we gonna get 1 million space bucks? Now we're gonna get back to Princess Vespa and Dot. They have left the planet in the spaceship Mercedes, and they're flying along. And now Dark Helmet has seen that the prince is in there, and they're gonna try to capture her. So he's like, they get behind Spaceball 1, the big ship gets behind Princess Vespa, and they're gonna try to capture her. And he's like, he goes, shoot warning shots across her nose. So they're right behind, Spaceball 1's right behind Princess Vespa's spaceship. They start shooting at her and they're real close. And then Dark Helmet gets after the Spaceball, goes, "What? I said shoot warning signs near her, not up near her nose, not up her nose." And a Spaceball comes out with his eyes crossed. "Sorry, sir. I'm doing the best I can." And then the Dark Helmet says, "Who made that man a gunner? He's an a-hole, sir. He's private majors a-hole, something like that." How about the other Spaceball? "Oh, he's my cousin. He's cross-eyed too. Oh, that's major first class a-hole." And then Dark Helmet goes, "How many a-holes do we have in this ship?" Everybody steps up and says, "Yo!" And then Dark Helmet goes, "I'm surrounded by a-holes." You know what I mean, the word. And he goes, he puts his helmet down. Dark Helmet, "Keep firing a-holes." Then they start shooting her. Now we get back to Barf and Lone Star, and King Roland says King is contacting Lone Star through radio. "King Roland to Lone Star. King Roland to Lone Star." And Lone Star's like, "How can I help you?" He says, "Lone Star, I need your help. Dark Helmet's trying to capture my daughter." And then Lone Star goes, "I don't know. I can't help you. I'm already numero uno on Dark Helmet's hit list." And he goes, "No," King Roland says, "No, I'll do anything. I'll pay anything. I'll do anything." And then, Lone Star goes, "Okay, we'll do it for Spacebucks. We'll do it for $1 million." And then Roland goes, "$1 million? Okay, I'll do anything." And then she's driving a Mercedes X, whatever his name of the spaceship. And he's like, and then Roland's like, "Oh," and then Lone Star's like, "Okay, we'll do it." He's like, he goes to Barf, "Give me Paul." He goes to do like this, do with their hands. And they go, "Arr!" Whatever. And then, King Roland goes, "If all possible, can you save the car?" So what happens is Lone Star is gonna go rescue the princess. Princess is still in Spaceball 1, is still in Harper's pursuit of Princess Vespa in her space vehicle. Lone Star and Barf, they get their flying Winnebago, and it goes above Princess Vespa's Mercedes spaceship. And they go. Barf goes down the ladder and gets her luggage, and he gets the princess and he gets Dot. Dot's like, "Watch it, don't be looking under my skirt." And then Barf's like, "Sorry." They get into Lone Star's. So now Dot and Princess Vespa are in Lone Star's flying Winnebago, and they take off. And then Lone Star and Barf, they're like, they had a jam up. They had to jam the radar of Spaceball 1. I'm sorry, it just left this part coming up. And then so they had to jam the radar so they wouldn't capture them. So Bart goes like on a Winnebago, like a submarine. He goes down scope. He goes Spaceball 1 about to be jammed. So he presses a button. A big bar of a big jar of jam hits the Spaceball 1's radar. And then a Spaceball, he's on the panel. He gets on his intercom. He makes noises. "Sir, can you come over here?" Colonel Sando comes, and so does Dark Helmet. He gets here. I go, "Okay, what's up, Private? What does he want?" And he goes, "Sir, you can hear him say." And they take away his intercom. He goes, "You don't have to use the intercom. Spaceball, we're right here again. Dark Helmet gets mad, gets all his desk and throws it, like all the stuff that's on his desk gets mad. And he goes, what? And then they ask him, what is it, sir? We lost contact with a ship, sir. I'm talking about Lone Star ship. Like, what are you talking about? You know, we lost the bleeps. It makes these noises. The jeeps and the creeps. And then Dark Helmet tells Colonel Sanders that's not all he's lost. He goes, sir, it appears that our radar's been jammed. There's like jam coming on the intercom or on his screen, and then Dark Helmet goes, he puts his finger to get some of the jam off the screen, and he goes, raspberry. There's only one foe that's been so bold to use a raspberry, and the camera gets close to him. He goes, Lone Star. And the camera hits his face. I'm like, what? So, Dark Helmet and Colonel Sanders, they do capture the princess's vehicle. They actually thought she was in there. And they pick it up through Spaceball 1. Princess Vespa's vehicle is now in there. They think Princess Vespa's in there. And they have guards surrounding it in Spaceball 1. Like I say, the ship's already in Spaceball 1. And then Dark Helmet goes in there. And he goes, "It's not in there." Like, what? She's not in here. He takes off his helmet. He looked at the door, and then the door hits him in the back. And now that they found out that she's not in there, they find Lone Star's Winnebago. And they're right behind Lone Star's Winnebago to capture them. And then Bar's like, "What are we going to do?" And then Lone Star gets, everybody get prepared for hyperactive. It's like Lightspeed. And they're about to go into hyperactive like Lightspeed. Dark Helmet, Spaceball 1 is right on their tail. And he goes, 3, 2, 1, they take off. And then Dark Helmet sees the screen and goes, "Where'd they go? Find them, catch them. We need to," and he's like, "Okay, we need to go to Lightspeed." And then Dark Helmet goes, "No, that's too slow. Put it on ludicrous speed." And then Colonel Sanders goes, "Ludicrous speed? Isn't that a little dangerous or overdoing it?" And then Dark Helmet goes, "No. No. Let's do this. What's wrong with you, Colonel Sanders? Are you chicken?" And then Colonel Sanders says, prepare ship because he's afraid. Prepare ship for ludicrous speed, like close down the circus, close down the mall, all this stuff they have in a starship in Spaceball 1. Cancel the 3-ring circus. Make sure you secure the zoo. And then Dark Helmet, "Give me this. Prepare for ludicrous speed." And then Colonel Sanders goes, "You better buckle up, Dark Helmet." And then Dark Helmet goes, "No, buckle this. Ludicrous speed, go." They take off at ludicrous speed. It goes super fast. Since Dark Helmet is not buckled in, he's like holding on to something, his feet are up in the air because they're going so fast at ludicrous speed. Lone Star, meanwhile, Lone Star and Barf are like, something goes overhead, and he goes, "What the hell was that?" And that's like, that was Spaceball 1. They've gone platinum or boulder, I don't know what, they're going so fast. And then Dark Helmet still with his feet in the air. "You missed them. We passed them. Stop this thing." And then Colonel Sanders buckled in. He goes, "We can't, sir. We have to slow down first." And then Dark Helmet goes, "Bull crap. I command you to stop this thing." Colonel Sanders gets an emergency stop. He puts the emergency stop. Dark Helmet is with his feet in the air and everything. He's the only one that's not, because he's not buckled in. Everybody's buckled in. And he does an emergency stop, and boom, Dark Helmet starts flying. He hits the control panel over the head first. And he's all, he goes like this, his feet are out like that. He's like stuck in the control panel because he crashed in it because he stopped too sudden. And they finally take uh, dark helmet out, and his helmet is big like this. It's all busted now because he crashed into the control panel. He has his glasses, and he's like, how about the colonel said, what should we do next, sir? And then dark helmet's all out of it. He's like, why don't we take a 15-minute break or something like that? And like, smoke if you got him, and he falls down. Poor dark helmet. Lone Star and Barf, they have they're in the Winnebago, but they're okay. They're like, okay, let's go back to Planet Druidia, and they're doing it like that because they're running out of gas. They're gonna crash. They go crash into some desert moon. They go crash there, and they crash in that moon. It's a and Princess Vespa's on the back. Like, who showed you guys how to fly this thing? They've ended their crash. Everybody's safe in that it's daytime in that desert moon, and they're gonna have to walk for help or something like that. They get out and they start walking. The princess wants them to carry her mass luggage. They start carrying the mass luggage. They're carrying a big case. It's super hot in the sand dunes, and they're carrying this big box, and they open it. What the hell's in this thing? And then it's like a big a hair dryer, and then Lone Star told the princess, "Hey, I told you just to take things you need to survive," and she goes, This is my big blow dryer. I mean, it's like this big?" She goes, "It's my big blow dryer, and I can't live without it." They drop that, and they keep carrying the case. I don't know why. And he's like, "It's a lot higher, lot lighter." They should have dropped the case too. What do you need to take the case for if you already took out the blow dryer? So they keep taking her bags. She has an umbrella. Um, they do stop. It does get late. They stop for the night, and then there's just the part where Lone Star. I mean, he's a handsome guy, and the princess, she's pretty, and Dot has stopped. She's on charge mode, whatever. She's not really active right now. Barf's asleep. They start getting chummy. They start getting romantic. They're about to kiss, and then Dot's virgin alarm goes off, and she's like. And then Lone Star, because a big sound came out of the virgin alarm, because the virgin alarm's for the princess. And Lone Star goes, "What the hell is that?" She goes, "That's my virgin alarm. It's gonna go off before you do, buddy." She goes, She talks to her, "You, Missy, go to bed, and you," and then Barf was having a dream too. He was woken up by the virgin alarm, and he goes, abandon ship, abandon ship." He's pretending he was dreaming he was in the water or something. And then Lone Star goes, "All right, everybody get to sleep." Bar's like, "Why?" It's like, "Oh, we're going to have a hard walk in the daytime. It's going to be really hot and everything." So yeah, now they want to sleep. Now it's daytime. And Lone Star's like they're suffering of the sun. And he's like, "Water, water." I don't know. I guess Barb was saying like water, dog food, something like that. Dot, the female robot, she's saying oil, oil, and then Princess is saying room service, room service. Then Barf ends up carrying Dot. She's on the back, and then Lone Star's carrying the princess like this, and then they all fall down because they are exhausted from heat exhausted, and no water, no oil, no room service. And then you see this line. They're like little druids. That's what I call them. They're like, they're just little druids. They're like munchkins, or I don't know, dressed in dark. And they have the attire to be in the sun. And they say ding 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 ding. They get to all of them. They give Dot oil. They give the rest of them water. And then Lone Star wakes up and he goes, "When did we hit Disneyland?" And then they're all walking real cute in a line. They're like, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." That's the ding, 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 ding. They just sing that song. The little druids are gonna end up taking them to yogurt. Yogurt kind of looks like played by Mel Brooks. Um, he's like the version of Yoda. He's all green and short and stuff like that. They take them to meet Yogurt, but first it's like a big statue. You think it's Yogurt, but it's not. Yogurt comes from behind. Yogurt starts talking to him and says, showing him his merchandise of Spaceballs the movie, Spaceball the movie, Spaceball the cereal, Spaceball the yogurt doll. Oh, how cute and all this. Spaceball the flamethrower. He's like, the kids will love this, and it actually throws like that flamethrower actually throws fire. Lone Star says, "Hey, I got this amulet with her. I don't know what it means." And then Yogurt goes, tries to read it. Lone Star's like, "You can read it?" Yogurt goes, "No, I'm just clearing my throat." And he goes, I know what it means, of course, but I can't tell you now. I'll tell you when the time is right." So they're in Yogurt's lair, and then Yogurt starts teaching. He's gonna say, I'm gonna teach you, Barf's there too. "I'm gonna teach you the most, powerful magic ever." And then Barf goes, it's the Force?" And then no, Yogurt goes, "No, it's the Schwartz." And he gives Lone Star the ring. "Here, there's a ring." And he goes, "Lift that statue up." And it's a big statue. It's like 50 feet tall. And Lone Star's like this, trying to mentally try to lift up the statue, and he does. The beam comes out. The statue goes up. And then Barf comes back, and he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And then the Lone Star's distracted, and the statue falls on Barf's foot. He's like, "Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up." And then Yogurt's like, give me the ring, give me the ring." He gets the ring. And he goes, "Upsy daisy, upsy dozy, upsy daisy." The beam comes out of Yogurt's ring and lifts up the statue, and then Barf's able to pull his foot out. He's like, "Whoa, whoa." And his like feet are all fat, they're all smashed and skinny, flattened. He walked away mad, looking at Lone Star. Now we're gonna get to the Spaceballs Dark Helmet. They had contact President Screw, Dark Helmet's boss. He's the president of everything. And he goes, "We found out," like Dark Helmet's like, "We found out they land on this sand moon place." And then President Screw's like, "Okay, go comb the desert. Hear me, comb the desert." And they're like, "Okay." So now the Spaceballs have landed on this desert moon that Lone Star and company are at, and they're like in a sand vehicle. They have the driver, Spaceball, and they have Colonel Sanders, and they have Dark Helmet. And then Colonel Sanders, they have Spaceballs combing, literally with combs, like big combs, combing the desert. And then Colonel Sanders tells Dark Helmet, "Aren't you being a little literal about this combing thing?" And he's like, "No." Dark Helmet says, "President Scoop said us to comb the desert, so we're combing the desert." And he goes to the first two Spaceballs that have a big comb like that. And he goes, "Found anything?" And the Spaceballs say, "Nothing, sir." And he goes to other two Spaceballs with a big comb too on the other side, same thing. "Found anything yet?" "Nothing here, sir." Then he gets to these two black Spaceballs, literally black people Spaceballs. They have like a little black afro comb, and then Dark Helmet goes, "How about you two?" And then the black Spaceballs says, "We ain't found crap." They have a little comb. I think it's a little racist. Okay. Now we get back to Lone Star and Company with the Yogurt. We have Princess Vespa. She's in a bed. Dot's there, like she's charging up. She's not moving. And then Dark Helmet finds a lair. It's like a, but it's he but it's on the outside. So you see the yogurt. He finds the yogurt. He's like, yogurt. Oh no, it's a sign of yogurt. Yogurt. You take the sign like this, the sign off. I hate yogurt's a big Y. I hate yogurt, especially with strawberries. Colonel Sanders like, no, let's go in. He's like, and then Dark Helmet's like, no, we can't go in. He's way too powerful. He gets the Schwartz, and he's like, does he have the Schwartz too? And then Dark Helmet goes, well, I got the downside Schwartz. He got the upside Schwartz. There's a two rings to every Schwartz. And then Dark Helmet goes, we don't have to worry about us going to her. I'll make her come to us. And then there's like King Roland is in the lair. It says King Will says, Vespa, my darling, Vespa, come. And then Vespa wakes up from her bed. Daddy? She's like, Daddy? She's like, come to me, darling, come to me. She keeps following the voice of her dad. And she goes outside. And then Dot wakes up and goes after her. And seeing that she's left the lair. She gets out of the lair and she sees King Roland, her dad. And she's, Daddy, I love you. And she runs to him. And then King Roland turns out to be Dark Helmet in disguise. She gets up. She passes up. Ugh. Dot comes out like, wow, what's going on? And then one of the Spaceballs gets her. They grab her. So they have captured the princess. Dark Helmet has captured the princess and Dot. And they're going to get on Spaceball 1. Lone Star goes out, but he's too late to get her. So they have escaped. So Lone Star and Barb, they're gonna get ready to go. Yogurt's like, hey, I'm putting gas in your Winnebago so you can go after. They're like, okay, thanks. And he's like, thank you for everything. And Yogurt's like, you're welcome. Now we're gonna get to so now Barf and Lone Star are gonna get ready to go gas up their Winnebago and take off and go after the princess. Now we get to the princess, and again she's captured by Dark Helmet, who's Colonel Sanders. They have her. They have they have the princess. They have her like on a contraption like this. She's like on a gurney, but she's like upside or whatever. And they say they have Colonel Sanders there, Dark Helmet's there, and they bring in a doctor, and then they have King Roll on the screen, and then they say King Roland's on the screen. How they call him on the screen? He's like, "What are you doing with my daughter? What are you doing with my daughter?" And then like, meet Mister. We have this doctor here, Mister. He's world renowned doctor, something something. He's renowned all over the world, especially Beverly Hills. And they go, and then King Helmet, Dark Helmet. He says, if you don't give us the air defense code to your planet, so we can steal your air. If you don't give us the combination air code, we are going to give your daughter her old nose back. And have a picture of Princess Vespa with an old nose, it's like a wicked witch of the West nose that's all big and long, like a witch nose. And she's like, no, like they're gonna kill her. She's like, where'd you get that? Anything like that? You mustn't not give them the code. You mustn't. And King Roland's like, yeah, you're right. I won't give him the code, but I will miss your new nose. They tell the doctor, Dark Helmet tells the doctor, okay, do your worst. Doctor's there with his knives, whatever. And then King Roland, and then Princess Vespa, I think she knocks out again. And then King Roland goes, He says, "No, no, no. I'll tell. I'll do anything. All right, give us the code. All right, give us the code to the defense code, whatever. Okay, we're ready." And King runs, "Okay, I'll give it to you. It's one." And then Dark Helmet's like, "One." He's like, "Two." And like, "Two," they're writing it down. Three. Three, next. Okay, next, five. And then Dark Helmet goes, so the code to the air defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I don't know. And then Dark Helmet whispers to Crozan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like an idiot will put in his mass luggage. So now they got the code. Then later on, they give it to President Scrooge. President Scrooge's like, "What's the code?" It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. President Scrooge's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the number. That's the combination I have in my mass luggage. And he's like, "Okay, let's get ready. Change the number on my mass luggage." Later on, Colonel Sanders, I'm sorry, Dark Helmet. He's in a room by himself, and he's playing with some dolls. There's a doll of Barf, Dot, Lone Star, Dark Helmet, and the princess. And he's like, he's talking, playing with his dolls. "Okay, Princess Vespa, the way I want you, the way I need you." "No, no, leave me alone." "Oh, but your helmet's so big." And it's like, where? And then Lone Star pops in. "Hi, honey," and when he's playing with the dolls, he's like, "We're gonna beat you up." "No, we're gonna beat you up." And then Dark Helmet starts hitting the dart. "I'm gonna hit you. Same thing to you, big boy." He knocks the dot doll, the Barf doll, and the Lone Star down. And he gets Princess Vespa here. They're making up. "Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, you have great helmet." Great. Dark Helmet still playing with him like this. Colonel Sanders comes to that door, like the door like that, and he goes, "Sir, we have intercepted I don't know what." And then Dark Helmet goes, "Knock, knock, knock. I told you every time you come here, knock. Every time you come in here." And he goes, and then he goes, and then Colonel Sanders goes, "Sorry, sir, it'll never happen again." And then Dark Helmet goes, "Hey, did you see anything?" He's like, and Colonel Sanders like, "No, I didn't see you play with your dolls again." That was hilarious, man. Now we get to Lone Star and Barf. They're in the Winnebago, and now they have landed in Spaceball City, where Princess Vespa and Dot are held captive. So they land on a like some kind of small parking lot or driveway. Barf and Lone Star in their Winnebago. And then these two Spaceballs guards are outside. They're like, "Hey, you can't park there. It is a no parking zone." Barf comes out, and he's like, and he throws the bad finger. They're not the bad finger YouTube, so I'm not throwing this one. He throws that bad finger to them. The two guards run inside, and Lone Star and Barf have beaten them up, and now they're wearing the guard uniforms. They go into Spaceball City, and they sneak in, and they hear this somebody singing, "Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows but Jesus." And then they go look, and there's a cell, and it's the princess singing. She's singing with a guy's voice. Like, wow. And they go in. They have the keys that they took from the guards, and they get the princess and Dot. And they're like, "Okay, let's get out of here." So they rescue the princess and Dot. Not yet, because they still need to get out. Then a whole bunch of Spaceball guards that come and start shooting. They start shooting at the Lone Star and Company and them. And Barf is like, wait a minute. He gets some vents that are stuck in the wall, and he gets them like this, and they have funnels, and they're shooting the bullets through, or the lasers through, and they go through, around the funnel, go back, and they shoot all the space guards, so they're caught, and now they start running all of them, and now more space balls are chasing after them, and Lone Star and his group, they all jump through this door that's closing, and then the guards, they get in there, and they capture him. But they didn't capture him because there's like a sergeant or whatever with his space balls. He's like, you thought you could escape us, but you can't. And then he looks at the guards. He goes, "You idiots! You didn't capture them. You captured their stunt devils." Dot kind of looks the same, but just different. The princess has a mustache. It's a man with a mustache with a cigar with a dressed like the princess. Lone Star looks a little bit older, and Barf looks a little bit older, so it's not them as their stunt devils. So they go outside. The guards go outside and they catch up to the Lone Star and the group going to the Winnebago. And they tell the princess, "Hey, use the gun and shoot it." And she goes, "I hate guns." And one of the guards shoots the princess in her hair. He's like, "My hair! He shot my hair!" He's like, that. She says that son of a gun. She gets her gun and starts shooting. She shoots all the guards by herself. And then she goes, "How was that?" She tells Lone Star. Lone Star's like, that was okay." And then Dot's like, What are you talking about? That was a good enough for Rambo." They take off in the Winnebago and they take off. Now they rescued the princess. Now they're gonna go to Spaceball 1. But now, so yeah, we're gonna go back to Spaceball 1. Dark Helmet and Colonel Sanders are there, and President Scrooge's there, and they're gonna transform Spaceball 1 into a maid. It's called Mega Maid. It transforms all slow. It's Mega Maid with a vacuum, and they have got the code. They're at Druidia, so now they have the code. So the code, they put the code in, and it opens up the gate to Druidia, which leaves the opening. Now, Mega Maid puts her vacuum on it, which was Spaceball 1, also aka Spaceball 1, starts sucking the air out of Druidias. They're like, all of them are like, Colonel Sanders, Dark Helmet, and President Scrooge are like, suck, suck, suck. The vacuum sucking all of the air and atmosphere out of Druidia. And you see King Roland, he's losing air, and he's in a desk, and he's falling to a desk. It's funny, because they when they're sucking it out, they suck all the trees out. The trees are coming out. They come out and everything like that. They're sucking out the air. They're killing everybody, and all the people in Druidia because they need air to breathe. Now, Lone Star and company are coming in the Winnebago with a newly rescued Dot and Princess and Barf. And they're like, "What can you do to stop it?" The Winnebago's close to Mega Maid. And he's like, "I'm going to try." They're like, "Try to use the Schwartz." They're like, "Okay." So he gets his ring. And he starts going like this. He's trying to reverse. He sees a button that's off and reversing with that. And Lone Star uses his magic. The Schwartz shoots it. He shoots at Mega Maid. And then he gets on the lever. And it's on off, and reverse, and he gets it all the way to reverse, and they're like, "Yes!" So, I dropped my ring. Might need it later. So it's on reverse, so now the vacuum air, it's blowing into Druidia, giving them back all their air, and then you see King Roland, air, he revives because they got air now. Now that since that happened, Lone Star is gonna try to go into Mega Maid and blow it up, so they won't try it again. They take it with a bagel. They go into Mega Maid's ear, and then you see the radar. You see the Lone Star's Winnebago like this, going. He reaches over there to some location. He's gonna try to find a, self destruction button. He gets off at this place. He meets his guard. He sees his guard. Well, he gets behind his guard into a room. He thinks it's near the self destruction button, and he gets behind his guard and goes like this. The guard's going, "What are you doing?" He's doing the Vulcan knockout pinch. And then the guard goes, "No, no, stupid. You need to pick it up a little higher." And he goes, "Like this." He goes higher. And then Spaceball's like, guard's like, "Yeah," and he knocks out. Lone Star goes further. He meets another guard, and he's in his shorts with his ring. There's a Spaceball shaving. He has shave all right here. And then Lone Star goes like this. Get in it, and he gets the shaving cream. And the guard gets his gun and goes, "Who are you?" And then Lone Star shoots the shaving cream in his eyes. Oh, and he opens his mouth. I don't know why. And he puts the shaving in his mouth. Oh, and he does a Vulcan pinch to this guy too. And he's like, oh, he gets knocked out. Now Lone Star then he passes the guards. Now he's gonna go find the self-destruction button. He finds it. He's about to hit it, but Dark Helmet's there. And Dark Helmet's like, "No, you thought you could get away with this? No, you're not gonna get away." They start fighting, and then Dark Helmet gets his Schwartz, and he does it like a lightsaber. It comes out a sword, and then Lone Star 2, he gets his sword, different colors like Star Wars, like Luke versus Vader, and then Dark Helmet's like this. "Your Schwartz," things like this. He's like, "Your Schwartz is as big as mine." Then they start fighting. At one point, they're doing their their fight, lightsaber fight, and then a Dark Helmet. He goes like this, and you can see the whole, like all the directors and cameras, and he like killed the director, and he's like, "Oh," Dark Helmet's like, "Oh, snap." And he's like, he did. He blames Lone Star. Lone Star's like, "What?" Then Lone Star gets his lightsaber, hits Dark Helmet on the side of his helmet one side, and he goes, "Ding," doesn't do nothing. Then there goes nothing, and then Dark Helmet puts up his helmet, and you see Rick Moranis' face, and he goes, "Ah," and then Lone Star just punches him in the face. Then Dark Helmet says, "You're a good competition." Oh, but he also had said that, "Before I kill you, I'm your father's, mother's, brother's former roommate." And then Lone Star says, "What does that make you to me?" He's like, "Nothing. That's exactly what I'm gonna do to you. You're gonna make you nothing." But Dark Helmet goes, "You're my best competition, but if I have to congratulate you for being good competition, man, I must." It's like, "Put it there." Dark Helmet extends his hand, and then Lone Star gives his hand with the ring. Dark Helmet takes his ring. He's like, "Oh, how did you fall for it? It's the oldest trick in the book. What's wrong with you, man?" He's like, "Oh, here." Dark Helmet goes, "Here's your ring back." And then Lone Star tries to get it, and he goes, "Oh!" And he throws it, and it falls down the vent, and Lone Star can't get his ring back. And he hears, and Lone Star needs help, so he hears a voice from Yogurt, and Yogurt goes, "Yogurt to Lone Star, Yogurt to Lone Star." He's contacting telepathically. Lone Star's, and then Yogurt's like, "You have to defeat Dark Helmet," and then Lone Star's like, I can't. I lost the ring." And then Yogurt goes, "Forget about the ring. I want it in a Cracker Jack box." Or I got it in a Cracker Jack box. And he goes, "The Schwartz is in you, Lone Star. The Schwartz is in you." So Dark Helmet's like, I'm gonna. This is not the world wildest sports, so I'm gonna have to defeat you." Dark Helmet starts shooting lasers from his ring, and then Lone Star starts doing flips. He misses it, and then Dark Helmet shoots at Lone Star. Lone Star gets a mirror found, and then she's back, and it hits Dark Helmet's private. Then Dark Helmet there's one part where Dark Helmet makes a his sword lightsaber again. He's going like he's swinging at Lone Star. Lone Star just holding him from the head, and Dark Helmet's like this is just missing, hitting the bottom, can't reach. Then Lone Star lets him go. Dark Helmet starts running. He hits the self destruct button on his own, and then Lone Star's like I need to get out of here. Lone Star takes off and gets on the Winnebago and he takes off with a Dot. Um, Dot, Barf, and the Princess Vespa that are waiting for him. They take off. They're gonna take off, try to get out, try to escape on time. The self destruction button has gone off, and alarms are going off. Everybody, Dark Helmet goes back, um, and then everybody's going crazy, and then Colonel Sanders like everybody going to escape pods, all that, which you shouldn't. You know, you'll find out in a while. Um, there's a spaceball that's been doing drones for the whole movie, whatever. He takes off in a pod. Um, President Scrooge goes in a. He makes it to what do you call it? He makes it into an escape pod, but when he sits down, there's a bear and already sitting there from the circus, and he's trying to buckle himself in, but it knows the bear's arms, and he goes ah, and then the bear is laughing, and the door closes. He starts waving by. Dark Helmet gets to the space pod, but this fat bearded lady comes out and bumps uh, Dark Helmet with her big stomach, and he goes back, and then he gets in the space god. He's like bye, and then Dark Helmet says, "Come back, you fat bearded slut! Come back, you fat bearded slut!" She takes off. Um, so all the Spaceballs have taken off. It looks like it's just Dark Helmet, British group, and Colonel Sanders left. Oh, but Colonel Sanders, they're like, hey, isn't there like a lever to reactivate it? I mean, to cancel it. You're like, yeah. Colonel Sanders goes, Dark Helmet gets to that lever, and he goes, damn, it says out of order. They can't cancel it with that lever gets out of order. Like, damn, even in the future, nothing works. So back in the Winnebago, Lone Star, Dot, the princess, and what's his name? Barf. They all escape. While now it explodes. They're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mega Man explodes. It goes, have a good day, and then Dark Helmet, President's Group, and the Colonel says, say thank you, and then it explodes. Um, so they Lone Star and company, they have escaped. They're gonna go back to drop off Princess Vespa at Planetarium. She's gonna get married. Um, but now we get back to this planet, and the head of Mega Maid has has uh has landed on this planet, and then you see Dark Helmet, Colonel Sanders, President Scoop coming throughout the nose, and then you see two monkeys on horseback come out, and it's from the planet. They're on the planet of the apes, and then the apes go, "Oh damn, Spaceballs! There goes the planet." We go back to the wedding. Lone Star has dropped off the Princess Vespa, and Dot. She's with her father, King Roller. She's about to marry Prince Valim again, and Prince Vespa says, "Man, Lone Star just took the million Spaceballs and ran," and then King Roland says he didn't take the million, and then she's like, she did it. And like, no, he just took 400 space bucks, 400 space bucks and tools, whatever that means. She's like, wow. Um, Lone Star and Barf have flown. They've left. Barf's like, Barf is like, I wish we could have stayed. And he's like, he asked Lone Star, you have anything to eat? Lone Star's like, yeah, I have a fortune cookie. Here, you can have it. Barf opens it up. Yogurt comes out, visual, magically, Schwartz, whatever. And he goes, Lone Star, you know that medallion you've been wearing? Yeah. He's like, well, I'm gonna tell you what it means. Your mother was a queen, your father was a king, and he says that makes me a prince. I'm an honorary prince. And then, yeah, Yogurt says, yeah. So now you can go marry your princess before she misses. She marries a Princess Beauty, Prince Valiant. And then he's like, I put a special fast gas container, put it in, and you'll make it over there fast. So they put the gas in from the control panel, okay. And they're about to go back, so Lone Star could go marry the princess before the Prince Valley marries her. So they go back, they make straight back, they go like, they go back, and they're gonna fly back to Duridia. They go back and they make it. Now we're gonna go to Princess Vespa and the wedding. She's already at the altar, and they're like, the priest is like, "Do you want to marry him?" She's like, "Maybe, I don't know." And then Lone Star comes out in a white, nice suit with Barb dressed nicely too, and he goes, "No, she doesn't," and she doesn't want to marry him. He walks over there, and he says, "I'm a prince. I'm an honest to God prince. Do you want to marry me?" And she goes, "Yes." And she pushes Prince Valium away, and she goes, "Yes, I want to marry you." And then Barf goes there, and Prince goes, "What's your name?" "Barf." "What's your fuel name?" "Barf Molyneux." Are you getting married?" Like, "No." "And get over there." And then they got married, and you marry her, kiss her, they kiss each other, and like, you're married. And then that priest is like kind of smiles and happy, even although he was all frustrated from not being able to make them waiting because all this stuff, that drama's been going on. So they get married, and at the end you see the Winnebago on the back. It says "just married," and that is the end of the movie. This is Spaceballs. There's Dot. There's a princess, there's Lone Star. There's John Candy. He plays Barf. There's Mel Brooks. He plays President Scrooge. I really like this comedy. I love this comedy. It's awesome. It's funny. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's really funny. It gets really way out there, but I don't mind. It's a comedy. It's funny. I loved it. I would recommend, if you guys like funny movies that are gonna make fun of Star Wars. If you don't like movies that don't make fun of Star Wars, won't watch it. But if you like movies that are gonna make fun of Star Wars and make you laugh, watch this. John Candy does an awesome job. They did an awesome job with Rick Moranis. He plays the funniest. Like, if you were to pretend to be Darth Vader, he's Dark Helmet, you couldn't get anybody better. He's short. He has the glasses. He's hilarious. He's funny. They picked the perfect person to play a Dark Helmet that makes fun of Darth Vader. Mel Brooks he's okay. He's pretty good. Barf was funny. Lone Star and Dot played Joan Rivers. Lone Star did a good job. The Princess, good job. I mean, for their roles, they did really good. It was really funny. I recommend it. It is a good movie. I could tell because I watched it over and over as a kid. I watched it so many times. I love it. I hope you love it too. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you, for those of you that watched it already, I hope you're watching this to see my opinion on it. If you have not watched this movie, it's better for you, so you get to go see it. Go see it, go rent it, go get it, whatever you want to do. Nothing more I could say. It's a perfect comedy. I really love it. It's probably for sure in my five, like my best 5 movies of all time. So I'm done with Spaceballs. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this movie. I'm gonna say this. The world will never be a perfect place, but we can all make it better. Till next time, I love you guys. My name's Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. Signing off. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Love you.